Imagine a quiet, unassuming woman, loved by her peers, a star in her academics, and a doting wife. Now picture this same woman as a cold-blooded killer responsible for 5 gruesome murders in just 20 days. Let's take a journey into the life of our protagonist, a woman who, on the surface, appeared to be as average as they come. She was the type of person you'd pass on the street without a second glance. She was known for her gentle demeanor, her soft-spoken nature, and her kindness. Her name was often followed by words of praise for her academic prowess. She was the quintessential overachiever, the one who always had her nose buried in a book, the one who aced every exam, and the one who held top honors in her class. To her peers, she was a beacon of inspiration. To her husband, she was a loving, devoted partner. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, a storm was brewing. A storm so violent, it would shatter the image of this mild-mannered woman and reveal a terrifying truth. This woman, this scholar, this wife, was not who she seemed. For in the span of just 20 days, she would transform from a beloved figure in her community to a figure of dread. She was no longer known for her academic achievements or her kindness. Instead, she was known for something far more sinister. She was known for her murderous streak. 5 lives brutally snuffed out, one after the other, in a chilling sequence of events that left her community in shock and horror. This woman, who once embodied virtue and intelligence, was now the embodiment of terror. And the question that echoed in the minds of those who knew her, those who loved her, and those who feared her was, what could possibly push a woman of such character to commit such heinous acts? Our story begins on a cold winter evening, the perfect setting for the first in a series of horrific murders. The day had been unremarkable, the kind of quiet Sunday where the world seemed to hold its breath, giving no inkling of the terror that was about to unfold. As dusk fell, the streets of the small town grew quieter, the residents retreating into their homes, oblivious to the fact that their peaceful existence was about to be shattered. The culprit, a seemingly innocent individual, was preparing to draw the first blood in what was to become a chilling series of murders. The method was meticulous, the execution flawless, a chilling testament to the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of this model citizen. The body was discovered the next morning. An eerie silence hung over the scene, the grisly sight a stark contrast to the pristine snow that blanketed the ground. The first responders were met with a sight that would haunt their dreams for years to come. The methodical nature of the killing, the attention to detail, it was clear that this was no ordinary crime. The initial investigation was a whirlwind of activity. The local police, unaccustomed to such brutality, called in reinforcements from the city. Forensic teams combed through the scene, searching for clues, their faces a mask of professional detachment that failed to hide their underlying horror. The town was abuzz with speculation and fear, a sense of uneasiness seeping into every home, every conversation. As the days wore on, the mystery deepened. The victim's identity remained a secret, adding another layer to the already complex investigation. The town was on edge, the sense of safety they had taken for granted shattered. The town was left in shock. Little did they know, this was just the beginning. As days turned into weeks, the body count started to rise, shaking the town to its core. In a chilling 20 days, 5 lives were snuffed out, each murder more horrifying than the last, each victim as unsuspecting as the next. The second murder happened just as the town was beginning to process the shock of the first. It was a mirror image of its predecessor, the victim's life brutally cut short, the scene meticulously cleaned, leaving behind no trace of the killer. The similarity between the two cases was chilling, and it wasn't long before whispers of a serial killer started circulating in the community. By the third murder, panic had set in. The fear was palpable, the grief unshakable. The similarities between the murders were undeniable now. All victims were middle-aged, all lived alone, and all were killed in their own homes, their sanctuaries turned into their graves. The chilling precision of the murders, the calculated cruelty, sent a shiver down the spine of the town. The fourth and fifth murders followed in quick succession, each more gruesome than the last. The killer seemed to be toying with the town, each murder a macabre reminder of their presence. The law enforcement was under immense pressure. Their inability to catch the killer was causing unrest among the residents. The town was in the grip of fear, each day bringing the dread of another life lost. The once peaceful community was now a town living in terror, their tranquility shattered by the horrifying reality of a serial killer among them. As the town mourned its lost souls, the tension was palpable. The question hung heavily in the air, a chilling reminder of the grim reality they were living in. With 5 lives cruelly snuffed out, the question on everyone's mind was, who would be next? In a twist that no one saw coming, our unassuming Topper Bahu was revealed as the mastermind behind this reign of terror. The details of the investigation that led to her unmasking are as chilling as they are intriguing. It was a silent, relentless pursuit of truth, a puzzle pieced together from fragments of evidence, each one more incriminating than the last. The investigators meticulously followed a trail of deceit and destruction, unearthing a web of lies spun by a woman who, until then, had been perceived as nothing but an upstanding member of the community. A Topper Bahu, a daughter-in-law who had been a source of pride, was now the centre of a horrifying narrative. The reaction was swift and overwhelming. The town, once her cheering gallery, was now aghast, struggling to reconcile the image of the woman they thought they knew with the reality of her actions. Friends and family were plunged into a whirlpool of shock and disbelief, their faith shattered, their lives forever altered. Her motives, if known, added another layer of darkness to this grim tale. The evidence against her, a chilling testament of her calculated brutality, painted a picture that was hard to ignore or explain away. The once cherished trophies of her academic achievements now stood as eerie reminders of the duality of her character. It was a saga that gripped the town, turning every conversation into a debate, every memory into a question. The woman they had admired was now a spectre that haunted their dreams. The trust they had placed in her was now a wound that may never heal. In a matter of weeks, she had gone from beloved to feared, from a beacon of hope to a symbol of terror. The unmasking of the Topper Bahu was not just the revelation of a murderer, but also a stark reminder of the masks people wear, the secrets they harbour, and the lengths they'll go to keep them hidden. In the wake of such shocking revelations, the town was left grappling with a horrifying reality. The unmasking of the seemingly perfect daughter-in-law sent ripples of disbelief and terror coursing through their veins. The face of evil had been hiding in plain sight, behind a mask of innocence and academic brilliance. The trial, as expected, was a media circus. The prosecution presented an airtight case, with the overwhelming evidence and the chilling confession of the accused. The defense tried to plead insanity, but the calculated precision of the crimes suggested otherwise. The courtroom was a theatre of morbid fascination, with every new detail sending a fresh wave of horror among the spectators. The victims' families bore the brunt of the tragedy. Their lives, forever scarred by the loss of their loved ones, became a symbol of the town's collective grief. The court's verdict brought them a semblance of justice, but the wounds ran too deep to heal completely. Their anguish was a poignant reminder of the human cost of such heinous acts. But life, as it always does, found a way to move forward. The town slowly crawled back to normalcy, forever changed but resilient. The houses were filled with laughter again, the streets bustled with life, but the memory of the crime spree lingered like a ghost, a grim reminder of the fragility of trust and the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. Schools started incorporating lessons on mental health and empathy, hoping to instill a sense of compassion and understanding among the younger generation. The local government ramped up their efforts in ensuring public safety, with a renewed focus on community policing. In the end, the most chilling part of this tale isn't the murders themselves, but the reason behind them, a reason that continues to haunt those left behind. The motivation behind the crimes was a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity, a dark puzzle that left an indelible mark on the town's psyche. The echoes of this monstrous act continued to reverberate, a haunting reminder of a nightmare that was all too real,